Hi friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. My name is Lynette, and today we are preparing for January 2026. And to prepare, I am playing my new TBR game to set my TBR for January. So for the last 2 years, I've been playing TBR Bonkers. I will have that playlist linked below so you can go back and see. But I was fighting with the camera with the shape of the board and trying to get it all in screen. And I wanted to change things up a little bit. So I created a board and I'm calling it TBR Refresh. So we've got the polar bear is trying to get around the board to get to the Coke bottles. I love Coca-Cola, so this is kind of based off that. And the colors do not mean anything. They're just spaces for me to move. The prompt cards, I have, as I knock some over, I have these little cards that I have put various prompts on them. And so as we land on a space, we will draw prompts. Now, I have carried over from my TBR Bonkers game some cards have move forward or move back on them. So there are these random ones that will be throughout the deck once I shuffle the deck. I also have 6 special cards, but again, all the cards look exactly the same from the back. So I can't tell where these are. So I have 2 that say, oh no. And the first one says I have to pick 2 books for every prompt going forward. The other one says I have to replace any new releases or rereads that I have already chosen with new picks, but they must still match the prompts that new release or that reread went with. Then I have 2 challenge cards, and one says to read a John Grisham book. And the other one says I'm only allowed to pick library books going forward. Then I have 2 reward cards, and that one is you may remove 1 book from your TBR. And the second one is treat yourself to a new book. So these 6 special cards will be added in. So I have 100 of the regular prompts. I'm going to check my notes here. I have 6 of the special cards and 20 of the move cards. And so there are 10 move forward and 10 move backward. So we're going to see how this goes. I have not actually played a run through of the game to see kind of how many books am I going to get. This board does have I think it's 1 spot more than my TBR Bonkers game had on spaces, I think is when I counted it. 1 spot more or 1 spot less, something. They're pretty much the same number of spaces. So I expect relatively the same number of books. We'll see. And once I get to the end spot, the Coke bottles, then I will spin a wheel to figure out which 26 and 26 book I will be reading, because those are my priority reads for the year. So I will always end the game with one of those books, unless I finish that list, then, I will figure out what else this will be. For now, it will be a 26 and 26, and I don't expect to finish that list for a while, so we will see. Okay, so I think that is all the rules I have. Now I need to mix the cards up and then we can go over. But first, what do I want on my TBR for January? Well, I am a co-host of the Epistolary January, so I am looking to get epistolary books on my TBR. There is a group read for that called Wired Love, a Romance of Dots and Dashes by Ella Cheever Thayer. This was published in 18 something, and it's about a romance between two telegraph operators. Anne from In Search of Wonder has kind of raved about this book, and is it as good as she remembers it being? We will find out. So this is the group read for the month, and then at the end of the month, on the 31st, there will be a live chat on Anne's channel to discuss it. At the beginning of the month, Jen from... I have just lost her channel name. I will have it here. Jen something. Jen's Bookish Life, Jen's Reading Life. Wow, I've just lost her channel name. But on January 1st, she is doing a live reading sprints for the book 84 Charing Cross Road. And so I'm hoping to get both of these on my TBR for the month. I don't think I'll be able to participate in the live on January 1st, but I do hope to read the book sometime in the month because it was on my TBR last year to read for January. And then I have a few other books that I have mentioned in a couple of my recommendations videos that went up just earlier this month that I'm kind of looking to get. The only one that's kind of the highest on my list is In Spotlight and Shadow by Rachel Scott McDaniel, because I'm going to be buddy reading that with Alma from Alma's Book Journey. And that will fit the dual timeline and hidden gem prompt on my Christian fiction bingo for 2026, which are January's prompts. So those are the ones I'm hoping to read. But I do have a list of other ones that are possibilities, but I don't have a lot of epistolary books that I know offhand are epistolary. So we will see how the prompt cards go and what books I can find. So let's go to the overhead camera and play for the very first time. Okay, let's shuffle these cards. I've got them divided in two piles because it's too many cards for me to shuffle at once. I've added in the special rewards cards, the forward backwards cards. I'm like, what do I call them? Okay, we are ready. So roll number 1. We got a 4 and a 2, so that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and prompt number 1 is off to a great start. Go backward 1. Let's try that again. So Goodreads randomly picks. Okay, so the first official prompt I got is Goodreads randomly picks. So I'm going to pull up my Goodreads, record my computer screen, and let's find out what it is going to pick for me to read. So I will read the top book on the list unless it's a series, and I'm not at that point in the series, so then we'll move down. Okay, so I need to record screen and change my Goodreads to random, and here we go. Oh, how about I change it to my want to read books, not my own books, like my already read books. Okay, Fallout. Couldn't get it off my shelf. Okay, Fallout by Carrie Stuart Parks. Hey, it has a house on the cover. Oh, that's funny because that's in my most recent video, my reading journal, I talked about books with houses on the cover. That is funny. Okay. Her carefully crafted life is about to be demolished, not demolished, demolished. This is by Carrie Stuart Parks. Did I say that? It is a suspense book, After a difficult childhood, Samantha craves simplicity, jigsaw puzzles, lectures at the library, and the students she adores in her role as an elementary school art teacher in the dusty farming community of La Crosse, Washington. But when an SUV crashes into the building where she teaches, her entire world is upended. Samantha manages to keep the children safe, but her car isn't so lucky. Oddly, her purse, with her driver's license, credit cards, and other identification, is missing from the wreckage. Okay, I am excited to read this one. It wasn't on my radar for January, but I am excited to read it. Okay, let's go back to the board and see prompt number 2. Okay, let's roll for prompt number 2. We have a 5 and a 3, so that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the next prompt will be a reread. So the next prompt I got was a reread, and it just made the most sense for me to pick one of the books on my 16 books to reread this year. However, I have some books on that list that are not book 1 in the series, so I went with book 1 of the series, and one I'm hoping, but I don't remember that it has letters in it, so it would fit a Pissary January, but I don't remember for sure if it does. But that is A Distant Melody by Sarah Sundin. This is the very first Sarah Sundin book I ever read, and I binged this series when I read it. This is book 1 of the Wings of Glory series, and I just absolutely loved it. And I have one of the later books on my list for the books to reread. I'm not telling you which book it is because I have not filmed that rereads video yet, but know that it is it's not book 1, so it's book 2 or book 3 on that list. So A Distant Melody, and it is, will a chance meeting in a time of war change her life forever? Never pretty enough to please her gorgeous mother, Allie will do anything to gain her approval, even marry a man she doesn't love. While Allie has resigned herself to that fate, Lieutenant Walter Novak, fearless in the cockpit but hopeless with women, takes his last furlough at home in California before shipping overseas. Walt and Allie meet and begin a correspondence that will change their lives. Oh, yeah, okay. As letters fly between Walt's muddy bomber bays in England and Allie's mansion in an orange grove, their friendship binds them together. Okay, I was pretty sure it had letters, but I wasn't 100% sure. But the fact that it says it on the back. So, book number 2 is A Distant Melody by Sarah Sundin. Okay, next roll. A 6 and a 3, so that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the prompt is from NetGalley. Okay, so the next prompt I got was from NetGalley. I only have one book currently from NetGalley, and that is Witness Protection by Robert Whitlow. This is releasing the beginning of April. So yeah, I have it quite a few months ahead. And it says, in seeking to help an employee charged with drug smuggling, a man in the Federal Witness Protection Program is drawn back into the criminal world he thought he'd left behind. Well, in his early 20s, Jason went to work in an accounting department for a company he thought was an import-export business. He was partially right. It was a front company for a cartel smuggling drugs into the U.S. Once he becomes aware of the illegal operation, he doesn't quit. He's making a lot of money and participates at various levels. When the cartel is raided, Jason is arrested and agrees to testify for the government. In return, Jason is ultimately placed in the Witness Protection Program, relocated to Southeast Georgia, and given the name of John Tremaine. He goes to work for a large commercial tree farm, and after 18 years, he is the manager of the operation. One of his employees, Pablo Mendez, has a side hustle importing exotic chocolate from his home village in Mexico for sale to high-end restaurants. But when one of his pallets of chocolate is seized at the port of Brunswick, drugs are found, and Paulo is arrested. we will see. But so far, this is not going the way I thought it would go. So we will see what happens next. Let's go back for another roll. Okay, let's roll again. And we have a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was like, what color was I on? And the prompt is, forward 9 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, a couple ups the right way up. Okay, let's try the next one. A self-destruct book. So the next prompt was a self-destruct book. And I had to find my self-destruct list. I was like, please tell me I wrote it down somewhere and didn't have to watch the video through. But I did. So after much debate, none of the books have obvious fit in Epistolary January. So I thought I'd go with The Story People by Heather Kaufman. It at least like something about books. Maybe it's about set around a bookstore. Ben inherits his uncle's a bookstore, so maybe there'll be something epistolary in it. I don't expect so, but we never know. This is one of my 5-star predictions that is outstanding, so it needs to get read because that prediction video was quite a while ago. So this will be the one I'm adding. Did I say the author is by Heather Kaufman? I think I did. And it says, when Ben inherits his uncle's bookstore, he has a secure career and a built-in home, but he doesn't have contentment. As Ben looks ahead to the next chapter of his life, some well-meaning customers scheme to keep him in town by finding him a proper wife on their terms. So, I'm going to read this one. Next roll. 5. That's not a very big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the prompt is random letter generator for the author. Okay. Let's grab my tablet here. Okay. So, I have a wheel with A to Z on it. Let's mix them up. And spin. P. Okay, the next prompt was random letter generator for author, and when I spun the wheel, I got a P. So then I looked to see what authors do I have with the last name P. And I found one, and this book fits Epistolary January in some form, at least. And that is Behind Love's Wall by Carrie, Fancett, Pagels. And it is part of the Doors to the Past series. This is book number 5 in the series, but this is a series you do not need to read in order because the characters do not connect. And it says, the Grand Hotel slowly reveals her secrets. 2 successful women, 127 years apart, build walls to protect their hearts. Modern-day Willa, a celebrity interior designer, is chosen to go to Mackinac Island and consult for the Grand Hotel's redesign. During work on a room, she discovers a journal detailing the struggles of a young woman, Lily, which reveal dark secrets. The renowned singer wasn't who she pretended to be. And so this is also a dual timeline. So this will work for my January prompt of dual timeline. And it's probably under 1,000 ratings. I didn't look it up on Goodreads, but that would be my guess. So I could probably use this for like a lot of prompts in January. We will see. I'm excited to read this one. Okay, let's roll again. Oh boy. Talk about small number there. 2. 1, 2. And the prompt is, what is with all the random? Random genre spin. Okay, once again, I've got my spinner wheel with 10 genres. These are books that I own. I'm going to shuffle it a few times. There is one genre I definitely do not want, and it's kind of standing out there. I'm sure you can guess which one it is. Okay, let's spin. Historical suspense. Okay, I ironically think of the True Colors series. Let's see what I can find out. Okay, the next prompt was a random genre spin. When I spun the wheel, I got the genre historical suspense. And I'm stretching this a little bit, but it's my game, my rules. I'm doing it. In Spotlight and Shadow by Rachel Scott McDaniel. This is part of the Doors to the Past series. And at the very top it says, a gem of a mystery takes center stage. So it's a mystery. And I'm like, I wonder if there's suspense in it. So then I just Googled, does this book have suspense? And there's a couple different blog posts where it talks about if you love 1920s romance with a bit of suspense and a dual timeline, then definitely grab a copy of In Spotlight and Shadow. Then somebody else says, with lines like these, I don't know what the lines were because I didn't read that part, the swoon factor is definitely there. Lots of layers with suspense, romance, and hilarious scenes and enduring faith. And the story and the settings are brilliant, witty, romantic, and suspenseful. So it is a dual timeline, so it's not just historical, but I'm putting it in here. This is the book that I will be buddy reading with Alma, so I had to get it on the TBR somewhere. And yeah, so Elise has a habit of letting people down. Her former boyfriend, who she'd hoped he'd be his bride, who'd hoped she'd be his bride, her grandfather who hoped she'd take over the family's auction company. But mostly she's disappointed herself. What's the point of pursuing her passion as a violinist if she's too scared to audition for the seat of the Pittsburgh Symphony? Wow, symphony. Then, a century earlier, Sophie longs for the center stage. Having spoiled all her chances in Hollywood, she returns to Pittsburgh, accepting an insignificant role in a popular production. She watches her dreams pass by from behind the curtain at the Lowe's Penn Theater. When she finally gets the coveted spotlight, it's not for her talent. No, her surge to fame is all one terrible mistake. What? So, yeah. This is the one I'm going to put in here. Okay, let's go back and see what happens next. Okay, let's roll again. Hopefully we get a bigger number than 2. Well, we got a 3. It's bigger than 2. 1, 2, 3. And the next prompt is... oh, another one's upside down. A book purchased pre-2020 with a spinner wheel. What is with this? Okay. I already have a wheel for that created. Okay, so there are 14 books on here. There are certain ones I'm not ready for yet. So let's shuffle it and spin. Protecting her daughter. Okay, I'm ready for that one. The next prompt was another wheel spin, and that was a book purchased pre-2020. So this will help me for one of my goals. And it had to be with a spinner wheel. And the wheel chose Protecting Her Daughter by Lynette Eason. This is book 3 of the Wrangler's Corners series. I have this one on my Kindle, and it is the next one in the series for me to read. So this worked really well. And it says, anything for her child. After someone attempts to abduct her daughter, single mom Zoe flees to a remote ranch for safety. But when the would-be kidnappers follow them to Wrangler's Corner, Zoe must figure out why somebody wants Sophia. Local vet Aaron Stark is determined to help Zoe investigate and to keep his intriguing new neighbors safe. Zoe's used to relying on her own wits to survive, but quick-witted, caring Aaron is just the type of man she needs in her corner, and he might be her partner for keeps if they can find the truth without losing their lives. This is a love-inspired suspense book, so it is romantic suspense. Okay, let's go back and see if we can get a bigger number than 3 this time. Okay, next roll. Oh, 10. That's bigger than 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the exact number I needed. Perfect. Now, I need to pull up my wheel for my 26 and 26. So, because it's the start of the year, there are 26 books on here. Right now, they are not really sorted. But let's shuffle them anyways. Oh, what did I do? Okay. Now, I don't know if I've put any of these books on. There is one book on here for sure I would like to get in January, so we'll see. Will the wheel cooperate? No, it is not. When Stars Light the Sky. Okay, so I did make it to the end, and my 26 and 26 wheel chose When Stars Light the Sky by Elizabeth Camden. This is book 2 of the Women of Midtown series. Book 1 is While the City Sleeps, which I have not read yet. So I guess both of these books are going my TBR. Book 3 does release February, I think it is. So, I mean, if I read them both in January, I could read that one shortly after the release. And I could binge this series this year. That would be amazing. But, yeah. Wheel. Oh, well. And I did not get the epistolary book that I was hoping to get on. So, we'll see what happens. Because this TBR's got 9 books on it. So, what is, well... What's the title? When Stars Light the Sky. So this is, in a world on the brink of war, 2 hearts must navigate shadows of uncertainty. And Inga's carefree life in New York takes a dramatic turn when she sails for Berlin, Germany, to serve as the secretary for America's ambassador. Amid the glamour of life at the embassy, she continually finds herself at odds with the straight-laced and imposing Benedict Kincaid, the diplomatic chief of staff who harbors deep misgivings toward the German-born Inga. As Europe hurtles towards World War I, Benedict's determination to keep America out of the conflict adds to the already tense atmosphere. Despite their relentless sparring, Inga and Benedict succeed in keeping the embassy afloat through one crisis after another. But when they run out of diplomatic options, a marriage of convenience must be Inga's only hope of escape from the impending war. So, we'll see. I'm looking forward to this book because it is a marriage convenience story from my understanding. So we will see. But I guess I'm adding both of these so that I can't read book 2 without reading book 1. That just would not work in my world. So yeah, okay. Wow, now that there's 9 books on my TBR, let's review them. So the first book was a Goodreads random pick that was Fallout by Carrie Stuart Parks. Book number 2 was a reread, so I'm excited about that. And that is A Distant Melody by Sarah Sundin. Book number 3 is NetGalley, that is Witness Protection by Robert Whitlow, which is coming out in April. Book number 4 is A Self-Destruct. And that is The Story People by Heather Kaufman, which is also a 5-star prediction for myself. Then book number 5 was a random letter generator for the author, and I got a P, so I chose Behind Love's Wall by Carrie, Fancett, Pagels. Then number 6 was a random generator for historical suspense, and this is where I stretched it a little bit, and I put in Spotlight and Shadow by Rachel Scott McDaniel. And book number 7 is a pre-2020 purchase, and that one is Protecting Her Daughter by Lynette, Eason. And then book number 8 and book number 9 is, so book number 8 is going to be now, well, really technically 8 is this one, When Stars Light the Sky by Elizabeth Camden. But in order to read this one, I need to read When the City Sleeps by Elizabeth Camden. The one positive thing about this is both of these books are on my 26 and 26 list. So I could knock out 2 books in 1 month from that list. And I think, I have to double check, I think one of these books might be 2, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, yeah, I will try to read 84 Charing Cross Road and Wired Love, A Romance of Dots and Dashes. I will be trying to read both of those because those are kind of group reads for the month. And yeah, I don't know what else I'll get read because that would be 11 books. We'll see what happens. So yeah, please tell me if you are participating in Epistory January and what you plan to read. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.